Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so we're back here tonight and we've got a really good one on tonight. We've got one that's exciting. It's not some 15-year-old kid's PC or something like that. Not a budget gaming PC. This is the opposite, you know. It's like, is this budget gaming PC? Oh no, the opposite. So what have we got here? We have a RTX 4090 and i9 build. So all up to date, 14th gen i9 and RTX 4090, which is still the king. So some people ask me, oh, should I get the 4090 or, you know, should I get like the 5090 or something like that? And I have to answer everyone the same, and that is until we actually get concrete specs on the next generation of either CPUs or graphics cards or RAM or anything like that. We don't know until it's actually officially released, because until then it's all just rumors and stuff like that, and you can have, you know, good sources for rumors, but even the best sources can be wrong sometimes. So it's really hard to say. There's no crystal ball with this kind of stuff. In general, it's probably going to still be a little while till 50 series comes out. Now, I'll eat my words if I'm wrong, but my understanding was they were going to be pushing 40 series to, you know, last for a few years before they release 50 series. Like, I think Nvidia's focus isn't really so much on gaming right now. Their focus is on AI and that sort of workload. That's where I think a lot of the resources are going. So if they do release 5090, then it might only be just a small upgrade from 4090. But I don't know. That's just speculation, just because I know that Nvidia is, you know, doing a bit of other stuff there. So we've got the i9 14900KF 24 core 32 thread CPU. Now, just a little footnote on your CPUs. More cores is what you need for workloads like video rendering and audio production, things that can utilize lots of CPU cores at the same time. So for gaming, this is the top spec for gaming as well, but it has to do with its single core performance, not so much its multi-core performance, because the way that they write games, they don't write them to take advantage of 24 core CPUs specifically. So just a point to note. So if you're looking at this and you're going, right, this is an awesome spec PC, but I can't afford everything here. What can I maybe go less on here and still get pretty good gaming performance? You could do that with the CPU. You could go with either just an i7 14th gen. You could go you could switch sides to AMD and get something like the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. Both are a bit cheaper than this. You'll still get really good performance for gaming. The 4090 there, obviously you could go like a 4080 and still get pretty good performance. 4080 still shits all over a lot of other cards. You could also go with the Radeon, the 7900 XTX or the 7900 XT. They are also compelling options at their price point. So that's definitely something to consider here. However, if you want the best of everything, that's what we're looking at here with this build. So you can go like basically best of everything, or you can go you know, price to performance. So alright, so for our RAM here, we've actually got 64 gigabytes of RAM, because if I'm not mistaken, we're doing a bit of audio work and stuff with this PC. So gonna need that extra RAM there. So that'll be good. That's really important for anyone doing video and photo editing, because as soon as you start working with, you know, large numbers of you know, be it audio files or video files, and you start working with, you know, higher and higher quality content and more of it, you end up chewing through RAM pretty quickly with a lot of those applications. So it's good to have 64. Not too many people need 128 unless they're doing some pretty serious work. But yeah, 64 is generally the sweet spot. You can, I mean, to give you an example, you know, working with 1080p video and in YouTube and stuff like that, you don't need 64 gigabytes because you're working with 1080p. You're going to be recording your own content and doing live streams similar to what I do. You don't need anything like that. 32 gigabytes, absolute maximum. That's fine. You don't even need the i9 or anything like that to do what I'm doing. So for our SSD, we've got the Crucial T500. This is excellent SSD here. There is one spec above this, but it nearly doubles the price of the SSD. You can get the T700. So sounding a little bit like Terminator and shit there, right? But yeah, the T700 is a PCIe Gen 5 drive. So only a small number of people can actually take full advantage of that. We've also got a 4 terabyte Samsung QVO 870 there as well. It's a SATA SSD. We're going to be putting it on the MSI Mag B760 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard. It's a nice robust motherboard. It's going to be perfect for our uses here. We got a big 1050 watt Thermaltake Tough Power GF3. GFA3. I thought I was forgetting something. And that unit there, that's a top quality power supply there. So there's sort of quality tiers with power supplies, and that's generally what I like to look at. You can normally get a good idea of that tier list just by looking at the manufacturer's warranty. So if they're top quality, you're going to see a 10-year warranty on them. Just like buying a fridge or something like that that's good quality. There'll be a 10-year warranty on the motor and the inverter and all that kind of shit. Not the inverter, like the power supply, I should say. Shame. Anyway, you would get that sort of warranty on it based on, you know, the internals of it. And so you can get a number of different brands offering, you know, top tier power supplies. So you can shop around a bit, but Thermaltake have a reputation for power supplies. So they're not the only company that makes good quality power supplies. These days, many brands offer good quality power supplies. But back in the day of like cheap and nasty OEM power supplies, like, you know, the old beige box or the old Dell box from freaking 2005. It's got this like power supply that's like just silver. It's got this like black and white label on it. And you don't know anything about the internals of that. So they were all really, really cheaply made and stuff like that. And then it was like, back in the day, it was like, okay, I'm going to get a good name brand power supply. Who's the best brand for power supply? And go back 20 years and stuff like that. Thermaltake was, yeah, they had that reputation. And they've maintained that. The only difference now compared to 20 years ago is they're just competing with a lot more players now. So definitely something you can look at. This is a gold efficiency power supply, so that's fine for your average person. The 80 plus rating is efficiency. So basically the 80 plus gold is essentially about 90% overall efficiency, depending on the load and stuff like that. The only things we haven't discussed is the LS720 cooler here. So you probably heard me say before, freaking Deepcool opened a new multi-billion-dollar manufacturing facility in China. And since they opened that, they've got a whole range of new products. All these new products are much better quality than Deepcool. Deepcool used to sort of have a reputation of being a little bit cheap and nasty, especially when it comes to coolers. However, they've launched their new line of coolers, and the LS720 is one of them. So basically, they've gone from, you know, selling cheap and nasty AIO coolers with a 1-year warranty and stuff like that. Now they're selling top quality coolers with top quality fans with a 5-year warranty on the pump and 2-year warranty on the fans, which is as much as you get anywhere on fans. Just FYI there. No company currently warrants fans for more than 2 years. So in general, run your fans on silent. You run your fans on silent as much as possible. The bearing inside the fan won't wear out. Anyway, back to the cooler here. There is even a version of this cooler with the high static pressure fans on it as well. So that's called the LT720. And the only thing we haven't spoken about is we've got a new case here. So this is the Antec AX90. So look, let's get stuck right into it. I've already got the motherboard open now. We've got our Wi-Fi antennas. We get some SATA cables. No CD anymore. Oh, we get little stickers. How good's that? MSI stickers. Yes. Alright, and MSI. MSI is an excellent brand as far as motherboards go. If you were to ask me what sort of PC part is MSI most famous for, and the answer is motherboards. Their motherboards are generally really good. Even the cheap ones are like really reasonable quality, have minimal problems and stuff. And then obviously all the manufacturers have amazing boards in the mid to high end range in 2024. So you pretty much can't go wrong there. But overall, MSI famous for their motherboards. So this one here, we got 16 pins of CPU power there. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fan headers on this motherboard. So we could have 7 individual fans all hooked up and running on different settings potentially. That's not the way we're going to configure it, but you could do that if you wanted to. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 RGB headers, 2 12 volt and 2 5 volt, 4 DIMM slots, obviously our power there. We got USB 3, we got USB-C, 4 SATA ports, and everything you would expect down the bottom. We got a PCIe X1 there, that little one. This one here is a PCIe X4, so it's connected about to where my thumb is. And this one here is the PCIe X16 where the graphics card goes, and it's connected all the way along. And then at the back here, what have we got? We got USB-C plus 8 other USB ports, including 4 USB 3.1s there. We've got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1. We got optical audio out, which I sort of like for your like your sound bar and stuff like that. Anyway, that's our board there. So look, let's get stuck right into it. Starting with opening up our CPU slot. It says our 14900KF in the socket. Now we've got our memory. So this is DDR5 memory. Doesn't make a big difference for productivity type applications, so you know, your video, photo and audio editing and stuff like that. You could still be running, you know, DDR3 for some of that stuff, and it would be okay. The problem would be using a CPU old enough for DDR3. So if you are if you are looking at setting one up and your budget is tight, DDR4 platform would still be completely fine for you. Even for gaming in this day and age, still not going to notice a huge difference. And plus, you'd only realise the difference if you had the upgrade anyway, so what you don't know won't hurt you, right? Okay, so SATA SSD, and then we've got our Gen 4 here. So next step is the cooler. Now let's turn our attention to the case. So that is it as far as the assembly of it goes. But it's one thing to put it together, it's another thing to make it work. So I'm sure there's plenty of people who watch this who have been through building their own PC. And sometimes it's not as fun as it might sound. All right. It's looking pretty alive. Look at that. Okay, so we have posted. So I'll run Heaven here on high, no anti-aliasing. So this is 1080p. And all the stuff there on the screen, we've got our up here GPU, that's our graphics card, temperature, usage, clock speed, wattage. Down here mem, that's our VRAM, so usage and clock speed. Down here we've got our CPU, temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage. Down here we've got our RAM usage, and this number here below RAM, that's how many frames per second it's currently running at. Look at that. Look at those numbers. All right. So that was superposition there at 4K. Alrighty, well look, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.